welcome to BFS Wargaming. So today we have Sam back and we are talking about the Deathwatch supplement. And this time we're going to be talking about Warlord Traits, we're going to be talking about Relics, and we're going to be talking about the psychic powers. So what do you want to start off with, Sam?
Well, I'm on Warlord Traits, so we can start there.
Let's start with Warlord Traits then.
I do quite like a lot of these Warlord Traits because, in a way, we got a lot more than what's in the book.
Okay.
With Warlord Trait options. So we get the standard Warlord Trait options from the main codex.
Yeah,
Take those. Then we've got Warlord Traits in this book. So the first one is Vigilance Incarnate, which is from the main Space Marine Codex. So what this does is it allows me, in my command phase, to pick a Deathwatch core unit within 6 of the Warlords, and each time you do so, select one battlefield role. So starting this command phase, you get reroll once to wound against that battlefield role. So basically what it does is it doubles up on your chapter tactic, effectively, which is quite nice. Yeah, so we covered specialisms last video.
Yeah.
So you got your main chapter tactic, which you could use to get a battlefield role.
Yeah.
Your specialisms to cover your other, and then your Warlord Trait to cover anything you're missing.
That's so strong.
It does feel...
You get to choose one unit, yeah?
Yeah, it's one unit within 6, so it's a bit like the Chapter Master reroll. It goes really well with a Watchmaster.
Yes.
Like when you're picking your full reroll, you can sling this on, so it turns your Chapter Master or Watchmaster into a full-on old Guilliman.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is really nice. Then you have another one, which is one I really like and find myself wanting to take a lot. It's called Progenitor of the Chapter, or Progenitor of their Chapter. So basically what you do is you take this Warlord Trait, and then you pick one of the Chapter Tactic Warlord Traits from the main codex, like the Space Wolf Warlord Trait or the Dark Angels Warlord Trait.
Yeah.
And you replace all the instances of, say, Space Wolf or Dark Angels with Deathwatch.
Right.
So basically it's your Warlords brought his chapter's Warlord Trait to the army.
Oh, okay.
Which is really cool.
You get to pick one only out of the main Space Marine book, though, yeah?
Yeah, out of the main Space Marine Codex, you get to pick the unique chapter Warlord Trait from the main Space Marine.
Yeah, really good. Like that.
So that opens up basically all of the standard Space Marine traits, plus all of the special ones that you could take without having to be that faction.
Yeah, really good.
So, like, I've been playing around with lists, and like the Space Wolf one appeals to me a lot, and the Blood Angels one, if you want to make a Smash Captain, you don't have to be a Blood Angel, you can have that sort of tactic. The next one on the list is called Nowhere to Hide. Now, this is an aura, which basically gives you within 6 inches, ignore light cover, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Units within, core units within 6 of your Warlord. Each time to make in your command phase, you select an enemy unit on the battlefield till start your next command phase. When friendly Deathwatch core units within 6 of your Warlords make an attack against that enemy unit, they do not receive the benefit of cover to their saving throws.
Okay, so yeah, they don't get the light cover saving throw.
Yeah, so it's ignore cover for your saves.
Yeah, yeah.
For a target and units within 6.
Yeah, yeah. It's good.
I don't know if it's as good as the others, but it's there. If you're coming up against someone who keeps getting cover saves and it's like, oh, it's so annoying having to get through that armor, then fair enough.
Yeah.
Then you have optimized priorities.
We'd be playing against someone like Jormungandr, Tyranids, who all get a cover save. Do you know what I mean? That would be really strong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can take that away. Makes those warriors slightly squishier, even though they are still really tough to move.
Yeah.
So the fourth one in here is optimized priority, which is a Deathwatch core or character unit within 6 of your Warlord can still shoot even if they're performing an action without failing the action.
Really nice.
I quite like that one. The idea of just like dropping down a unit, do an action, and still be able to shoot.
Yeah.
I think there's a Space Marine stratagem, or maybe one in the Codex, which allows you to do an action and still shoot. So you can always have your units being active while still scoring you points.
Yeah, which is really, really nice, because in Space Marines, you don't really have any units that you want to leave doing actions, really.
Yeah. Your units are so valuable and so few, you can't afford to have them doing nothing.
Exactly. So yeah, really strong. What's the next one?
Next one's called Castellan of the Black Vault. So this is basically, you get to pick another relic, and these are like improved weapon relics. So your
Like a
Warlord,
crafted thing.
yeah. So you can either choose the Adamantium Mantle, Artificer Armor, Mastercrafted Weapon, Digital Weapon,
Oh, okay.
and this is in addition to any other relics they may have. Each relic must be unique. So you could have 2 relics on a model if you take this. Yeah, if you take this Warlord trait. So you could make a captain like super beast mode by having 2 relics.
Yeah, I like it.
And then the last one is Ties That Bind. It's an aura. Friendly Deathwatch core units within 6 of your Warlord can re-roll morale checks. It sounds nice.
I wouldn't take it myself. It's basically no fear, isn't it? But obviously, no fear's changed now, but it's the old days no fear.
Yeah, but the second half, it's got a second half.
Oh.
As in your command phase, you can select the Deathwatch core unit within 6 of your Warlord. Until the start of your next command phase, you gain the objective secured ability, and if you already have it, you count as double.
That is nice. That's very
nice. That's the good part of it.
That's got a lot better.
So yeah, that Warlord trait is
re-roll morale. Like, yeah,
it's like it's the remold morale is a little bit of icing on the cake there. Doubling up your obsec. A lot of your army in the list building stage for Deathwatch will be kill teams which all have objectives secured. So doubling up within 6 of your Warlord could be very good.
Could be very, very nice. So is that the end of the Warlord traits?
That is the 6 Warlord traits I've got. The big winners are Progenitor of the Chapter and Vigilance Incarnate for me, personally. Depending on the list, if I'm going more shooty heavy,
really, really strong.
I say if I'm going more shooty heavy, I'll take Vigilance Incarnate. I quite like the Progenitor of the Chapter though.
Yeah, it's fun. I actually really like that last one, doubling up on the objective secured. That's actually really nice. It's just the fact that obviously it's only within 6 of your
Warlord.
Yeah, Warlord, but it's still very nice to really double down on that.
Well, it's just like
claiming objectives is so key in 9th edition, getting primary and stuff like that. So yeah, it does make that a big thing.
Yeah, I quite like this book for stuff like this. It feels very like in the moment, in the flow type thing.
You can
just be like
very adaptive.
Yeah, I say I'm using that objective over there, so I'll double up the obsec. That's quite useful.
Yeah.
So psychic powers.
Yeah, we'll go start with psychic powers. Yeah.
We've got the Xeno Purge discipline. Now I really like this discipline. It's like actually quite good in my opinion.
Okay.
And I can see place for like all of these psychic powers apart from maybe one. So first one, we've got Pre-Morphic Resonance, which is a blessing power that's cast on a 6+. Manifested, select a Deathwatch unit within 18 of the Psyker until the start of your next phase. When you overwatch on a 5. That's really good.
Yeah, really.
If you at the start of the fight phase, if you're in engagement range with an enemy model, you can fight first. So you get fight first. And each time you make a melee attack...
They're 2 separate powers,
This is all part of the same power.
No way.
No.
So you get to overwatch on a 5+.
And fight first. And add 1 to your tax characters. Add 1 to your hit rolls.
Oh my god.
Yeah, for 6+.
Psychic power ever, isn't it?
I know. I read it and went, ugh. Yeah.
At least 2, if not 3 different psychic powers.
Yeah.
That is crazy. It's really nice.
Yeah, just until the start of your next fight. Until the start of the next phase, Overwatch on 5s. No, until the start of your next cycle. Overwatch on 5s, fight first, and add 1 to your attack hit rolls.
Nice.
That's really good, and it's only a 6 to cast. Like,
wow.
mind blown.
Yeah, really good.
Next power is another blessing. It's called Fortified with Contempt, which is basically pick a Deathwatch infantry or bike unit within 18 of the Psyker until start next phase. Every time a model would lose a wound, roll dice on a 5+, the wound is not lost.
Catalyst, nice.
Yeah, it's basically Catalyst. It's even cast on a 6. It's exactly the same as Catalyst.
Very nice.
But
Really
if you
good.
think to yourself, I've got an Indomitor kill team with 5 heavy intercessors and 5 aggressors, done that there.
Yeah.
Good luck moving it.
Yeah, that's really strong.
We then have Neural Void,
Have
which
we
is
only done powers so far?
We've done Warlord Traits. This is the 3rd psychic power.
Right. I feel like I've had about 5, but go on. It's because there's so many.
It's because the Pre-Morphic Resonance has 3
really
things.
They're really good. So what's the 3rd one?
So Neural Void, Malediction is cast on a 7, so slightly harder. Pick an enemy unit within 18 of the Psyker until the start of your next psychic phase. Subtract 1 from the attack characteristics of models in that unit. It's just that it stops there. It's not minimum of 1. It's just subtract 1 from their attacks characteristic.
They're going to have to put it in to a minimum of 1.
I'm gonna say that should be minimum of 1, or just remove your opponent's attacks.
I would say if you're playing Deathwatch, don't be that guy. Say it to 1 because it's definitely got to get FAQ because it just means you don't get any attacks because I've never ever seen anything that doesn't go to a minimum of 1.
Yeah, but the second half of that power, each time a charge is declared, or each time a charge is declared for that unit, it can only target the closest model, closest enemy unit. So you cast this on the enemy unit, you get -1 to attack, and you can only charge the closest thing.
Yeah. Again, really nice debuff in power.
Yeah, I really like it. Then we've got what all librarians are taking on as a fad, the Psychic Cleanse.
Right.
It's the next librarian fad.
They drink loads of smoothies.
Yeah. It's like warped brain smoothies. This is the only one that's bad, in my opinion. It's a Witchfire, and it's manifested as 6. If manifested, roll a d6 for each enemy model. It's model. Okay, roll a d6 for each enemy model within 9 inches of the Psyker. On a 6, that model suffers a mortal wound.
Yeah, each enemy that could be really bad. If you
first time
blob.
Yeah, you dump him right in the middle of a unit of boys, and it's 9 inches. Yeah, first time I read it as unit. I went, that's naff.
Yeah.
Model is that could potentially do a lot of work.
It could. I think I know what you're like. At the moment, I would have taken the first 3 over that one all day.
Yeah. Then we have Mantle of Shadow. This one I almost overlooked until I thought how I could use it. So it's a blessing. It's a Watchtower value of 6. Select 1 Deathwatch infantry unit within 12 of the Psyker until the start of your next psychic phase. If that unit does not shoot or declare a charge, enemy units cannot target that unit. Within with ranged attacks unless they are within 12 of it or the closest eligible unit.
So basically, sort of giving it like Cloud of Flies.
Yeah. So I was just like, well, that's naff because I can't shoot and charge. But then I thought, actually, if I've dropped down doing an action, that's a really good power, especially with like some of the chapter approved rules we've got in here. One of our secondaries is to do an action. I just think Mantle of Shadow, put that on the unit. Now you can't stop me because if I've got to go all the way around to my next command phase, it gives me that layer of my protection. So it's a really versatile one that I think could be useful.
It's good. So what's up next?
Last power is Severance, which is another malediction. Has a warp charge value of 7. If manifested, select an enemy character within 18. That unit suffers 1 mortal wound. Not great. Until the start of your next psychic phase, reduce auras on that character's data sheet by 3 inches. If the result of the psychic test is greater than that character's leadership, units cannot benefit from that character's aura abilities.
Yeah, it's all right, but you mean you got to get your character right up to. You got to get your librarian right up to that character. Like, what's the range for the spell?
18 inches. So
I mean, it's all right. It's not. It's. I think my personal opinion is the first three are for me the better ones.
yeah, that Pre-Morphic Resonance, three abilities all on top of each other, and then fortified with content, just
So strong.
all of them.
Yeah.
I do like Mantle of Shadow, just because it's a really versatile ability.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think there's some really good powers in there. Like, you've got 4 really strong ones to choose from, and you can't expect all 6 to be amazing. And the other 2 are all right in situations and stuff. So
yeah. How are we doing on time?
Yeah, so right. So we're moving on to relics.
Relics. Now there is a lot in here.
Okay.
There's a full 2 pages of relics.
Yeah, let's go through some of the ones that you find interesting. Like, is there any like super interesting weapon ones that you really like?
So most of them are just like a buff to a slight buff. None of them are like amazing. Beacon Angelus is still in here, which still does what it does, where it picks a unit from the table and pulls it to you.
Yeah.
Although you can't do it off Deep Strike now.
Yeah,
so
you can't Deep Strike a Watch Captain and then pull a unit to you.
There's the Osus Key, which basically buggers up vehicles within 12 of the character.
How does that do?
-1 to their attacks hit rolls, and -1 to attacks characteristics within 12 of the relic for vehicles. So if something like a Knight or a Redemptor is running, that's quite nice.
Yeah. But if you've got a Knight or a Redemptor running at you, and you're the Warlord, you're
within 12.
If you're within 12, you're probably going near to losing the game, surely.
Yeah, I mean, you're either a smash captain, that knight's dead anyway, or you're screwed. One I really do like in here is called Dominus Aegis. So it replaces a storm shield, and it adds 1 to the bearer's saving throws, to the armor saving throws, and friendly Deathwatch core units and Deathwatch characters within 6 of this model have a 5+ invulnerable save.
Oh, that's really nice.
That's really nice. It's like an aura of 5+ invuln.
Yeah. Really, really good.
I just saw that and went...
Are aggressors and stuff, just throwing them out there, are they cool?
Aggressors?
Yeah.
I assume everything in the Space Marine Codex is core unless it's a vehicle or a Centurion.
So I'm going to have a look whilst you... you carry on doing it. I've got it here.
Yep.
The relics.
So we've got Adamantium Mantle, which is a 5+ save after saves to ignore wounds.
Yeah.
It's quite nice. You've got Digital Weapon, which is make 1 additional attack. If it hits, they take 1 more wound. That's all it does. Artificer Armor gives you a 2+ save and a 5+ invuln. The Blackweave Shroud, +1 toughness and a 4+ save against mortal wounds.
Nice. Yeah, you were right. Everything's cool.
You've got Bane Bolts of some weird place, which basically you can make a single shot at strength 6, AP 2, damage 3. It's pretty decent if you've just got like a regular bolter to swap that out with. Artificer Bolt Cache, which is quite nice. You pick a bolt weapon and it gains special issue ammo.
Yeah.
So like I did against you, stuck it on a Stormbolt or on a Terminate Sergeant. It's quite nice. Eye of Abiding. Each time the bearer makes an attack, you can ignore all hit roll, wound roll, or ballistic. Each time the bearer makes an attack, you can ignore any and all hit roll, wound roll, ballistic skill, and weapon skill modifiers for that attack.
Wow.
Each time the bearer makes an attack on an unmodified wound roll of a 6, invulnerable saves cannot be taken.
That could be nice, yeah.
Yeah, so it's all relics like that. Tomb Ectoclades is in here, which is... Tomb Ectoclades used to be like an aura of... It basically used to be what Vigilance Incarnate was.
Yeah.
Now it's once per battle in your command phase. You can use a Tomb Ectoclades. If you do so, select 1 data sheet from used from your opponent's army. Until the start of your next command phase, the bearer has the following ability. Terminator declares aura. While a friendly Deathwatch core unit is within 6 of the bearer, each time a model in that unit makes an attack against
That data sheet.
unit, you can re-roll wound rolls.
All wound rolls.
Yeah, just so once per game you can go, that data sheet, I get this aura, and I get to re-roll wounds
So
against
that's
it.
once per battle use.
Yes, once per game type thing.
Right.
It's command phase to command phase by the looks of it. In your command phase, use Terminator Clades.
I'm just saying. Hang on, it's data sheet, isn't it?
Yeah.
That does limit it. Because I was going to say if it was like you could choose Lords of War and you were playing Knights, so you just re-rolling wounds against Knights.
Yeah, well, it's like if your opponent's got like a death bomb.
Yeah. No,
So,
it's very nice. You know, if you'd say it was, I don't know, possessed. You know, they were doing the unit of possessed, the possessed bomb. You could re-roll wounds against them, like something like that'd be nice.
yeah. So that's a very quick covering of the Mastercrafted weapon. I skipped that.
Gives you +1 damage, doesn't it?
Add 1 to damage characteristics of weapons. It's not considered to be a relic.
Yeah.
This weapon is considered. Yeah, so like none of the relics are standout. Oh my god, that's amazing! Apart from maybe the Dominus Aegis.
The Beacon's still good. Beacon Angelus is still.
Beacon Angelus is quite good, but it's nowhere near as versatile as it used to be.
No, it's not as good, admittedly. And to be honest, I thought it was probably a little bit too strong beforehand.
It was so good beforehand. I used to love dropping down that Terminator.
Drop it in, and boom, you've got this whole unit. You're like, what happened? But yeah, so I think that it's a little bit more balanced.
Yeah.
And I think it's good. I think they've got some all right relics. I mean, they've got some super good psychic powers.
The psychic powers are definitely a win.
Yeah, and they've got some really nice Warlord traits, because the Warlord traits in the main book aren't great. You know, they're just the normal Warlord traits, the generic Warlord traits that anyone can take. Like, swords are right. Like, they're not great. But yeah, I think you got some really, really nice ones there.
Yeah, so, I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, we'll leave it there for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay lucky. Thanks. Bye.